Just remember, once you're over the hill you begin to pick up speed. Suffering by nature or chance never seems so painful as suffering inflicted on us by the arbitrary will of another. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which to burn. The man never feels the want of what it never occurs to him to ask for. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. Without books, God is silent, justice dormant, natural science at a stand, philosophy lame. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. A man of genius has been seldom ruined but by himself. No one can construct for you the bridge upon which precisely you must cross the stream of life, no one but you yourself alone. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 supply the commentary on it. Health is not everything, but without health, everything is nothing. To escape from evil is not the task of man. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Compassion is the basis of morality. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Life is long if you know how to use it. The memory should be specially taxed in youth, since it is then that it is strongest and most tenacious. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively not by the false appearance things present, and which mislead into error, not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. One should use common words to say uncommon things. The two main requirements for success are first, the will to succeed, and second, the will to succeed at the right time. The greatest wisdom is to make the enjoyment of the present the supreme object of life. The closing years of life are like the end of a masquerade party when the masks are dropped. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as self-evident. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. A man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. The more a man speaks of his own goodness, the less we may believe him. Wealth is like sea water. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. Great men are like eagles, and build their nest on some lofty solitude. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The memory should be specially taxed in youth, since it is then that it is strongest and most tenacious, but in choosing the things that should be committed to memory, we must be guided by the utility of the things themselves, and not by the pleasure of the moment. Happiness is an exception in the lives of man. To live alone is the fate of all great souls. Life is a constant process of dying. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. Life is short and truth works far and lives long. Let us speak the truth. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. The first 40 years of life give us the text, the next 30 furnish the commentary on it. The wise man knows that it is better to sit on the banks of a remote mountain stream than to be emperor of the whole world. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. The more a man speaks of his own goodness, the less we may believe him. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. The person who has not learned to endure will have difficulty in life.